Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Fellow members and guests. I hope I don't end up making a garrulous. I was watching a documentary on rape on the African Independent Television Network, AIT, some weeks back. And a young woman who had the baby on her arms was interviewed. She spoke on behalf of her baby, who is a rape victim. Asked me how old that baby was. Just 7 months. Quite absurd. 7 months, and how did this happen? She left her baby with her landlord to go to the market to pick a few things. And before she came back, just right at the gate, she heard the baby cry. And she immediately rushed to the landlord's place because the baby was crying so profusely. She dropped her things and rushed to the landlord's place, picked the baby, breastfeeded her. But this cry wouldn't cease. She probably then thought the baby was soaked. To change her pampers, she took the baby, undressed her, and right as she was undressing her, she got shocked. She got marveled at what she saw. This baby was soaked in blood. This baby was drenched in blood. This is shocking, this is annoying, this is irritating. She immediately placed a call to her husband, who was in Port Harcourt at that time, because this was happening in Lagos. And the husband told her she rushed to the hospital immediately. As she was rushing to the hospital, so many thoughts were coming to her. She was asking herself, what form of abnormality is going on? Could it be that this baby has started menstruating or what? She didn't just understand what was happening. But all these doubts were cleared when she got to the hospital. Her baby was confirmed raped. This baby was raped by a full-blown adult, a father of 5 kids. And that is why I chose to discuss this topic today. When I was watching it, I said, yes, I must talk about this. And my topic today is facts about rape. This brings us to what is rape. Rape, in a layman's understanding, is sexual intercourse without consent. Any individual that engages in sexual activity with another party without his or her consent, without his or her approval, is said to have raped that person. In that sense, it is sexual abuse. Then we look at the types of rape. What are the types of rape? Firstly, we have gang rape. Gang rape occurs when 2, 3, 4 or more people attack a victim. And this is very evident during robbery attacks. You see robbers, after they collect valuable possessions, they ask where the ladies in the house, they sleep with them one after the other. And secondly, we have rape of children. Just like the example like Sinel with. That's a typical example of rape of children. When an adult sleeps with a child who has not gotten to the age of consent. And what is the age of consent in Nigeria? 18. Any adult who sleeps with a child below 18 years is said to have raped that child. And why is that so? Because that child has not gotten to an age where he or she could decide for himself or herself what they want. And thirdly, we have deceitful rape. When one is lured into rape, it could either be by putting something into the person's drink to make the person unconscious, or by deceiving the person to pay a visit. It's called deceitful rape. And we have war rape. War rape is very common among soldiers and combatants during the wars and conflicts. They use women, because women are the victims in this type of rape, they use women as sex objects. It's perceived and believed that the Chibok girls kidnapped by the Boko Haram members, they are kidnapped for the same cause. They say they rape them, they sleep with them day in, day out. And I wouldn't know. And now we look at the causes of rape. What are the causes of rape? The first cause of rape is indecent dressing among ladies. And second, we have culture. There are so many cultures that promote rape. Like 3 days ago, I was discussing with a friend, and he said, in India, they permit rape there. Why and how? It's believed there that once you're diagnosed with HIV, when you sleep with a virgin, it gets healed. So you could sleep with any girl or any man of your choice, and they're not virgins there. The virgins should be like the children, so they permit them to sleep with any of them just to get healed. And we have the watch of pornography. We have excessive use of drugs and alcohol. That's the fourth one. You know, when you take alcohol and drugs, you don't act yourself. You're being influenced by that. So you act how marijuana wants you to act. And how do we curb this? We've known the cause. It said, for you to eradicate a menace in society, you have to identify with its cause. And we've identified with its cause. How do we curb this? We curb this by dressing decently, by reducing our intake of alcohol, and don't take drugs. By reporting rape incidents. Most rape victims prefer to go silent and dormant about this issue because they believe when they report, they get segregated, they get neglected. If we don't report this issue, how do we deal with it? If party A is a rape victim and she keeps quiet, it will die like that. Nobody would fight for it. Nobody would punish the culprit. So we need to report this issue. And finally, I know we have some top government officials here. We could bring out a very drastic measure to address this. The Edo State governor has tried in combating crime by bringing death sentence to anybody found stealing. We could do this to rape. If you're found wanting, you death sentence or life imprisonment. And when we use 1, 2, 3 persons as an example, all that will learn from it, and this crime will stop. In conclusion, we've known what rape is, we've known the type, we've known the causes, and we've discussed how to combat it. I want to urge us all, Toastmasters, in our own very little way, let us say no to rape. And whenever we say no to rape, rape dies a natural death. Toastmaster.